Hi, Kurt Mortensen here. Welcome to MaximizeYourInfluence.com. Just finished a podcast on how people judge your external characteristics. Do people judge? Absolutely, they judge. And we're going to talk about what they judge, and that's what we did on the podcast. Hit a link below, MaximizeYourInfluence.com. Get access to the podcast. On the video, we kind of expand some of the things we talked about on the podcast. On the podcast, we focused on a lot on height and weight and some other external characteristics. And again, I know it's not fair, but we don't deal with fair, we deal with reality. When someone meets you for the first time, there's something about that meeting where within seconds or less than a second, they judge you and they put you in a category. We all do this. We cannot not do this. It's the way our brain is programmed. Everything goes through our amygdala, which taints it with emotions and feelings. If you're in the streets of New York City or any large city, someone approaches you, within seconds you're judging them. I like them, I don't like them, I trust them, I don't trust them. That's a subconscious trigger, and that is a big factor in persuasion. But you have to be aware, what are the things they're judging you on? Now, okay, some things you can fix, some things you can't, but you have to be aware of these. Don't get offended. It's human nature. We do what we do. But the more you know about this, the better it is. And we talk about solutions on the podcast, but let's take a little deeper dive on the physical characteristics that people are judging you on. Now, one of them is excess weight decreases credibility. I know it's not fair. I can lose a few pounds. I don't know if you can too. But 20% seems to be the marker. When you're 20% over your target weight, it decreases credibility and lifetime earnings. More for women than men. Again, I know it's not fair, but it's reality. There's a judgment there. Be aware of that. Here's an interesting one. High foreheads increase the perception of intelligence. Maybe I should, shave my forehead a little more, get a little more credibility with that. But people judge that. That's just a perception that people have. Glasses can do the same thing, where people just think you're smarter than you actually are, and that's something to be aware of. So that could be a positive thing. If your hair is receding a little bit, that could be okay. People might think you're smarter than you actually are. Old hairstyles can decrease your rapport. I don't know, maybe I need to change mine. It's been a while. There's trending things, and that depends on age group and culture and country. You have to adapt to these things. But some people will judge you on your hairstyle. Some people will judge you how your shoes shine. Some people will look at your watch. That's just their thing. Henry Ford, if you salted your food without tasting it, that was his thing. There's no way he's going to hire you. Everyone has their little thing, and so we want to be aware of as many of these as possible. Taller people are more credible and have more power. Most CEOs are taller than average, both male and female. Again, I know it's not fair. It's probably not something you could fix. I mean, you can wear heels. Maybe not if you're a guy. I guess it depends what your industry is, but you can figure that one out. But there's something about height and power. People think you're smarter than you actually are. People think you have more power than you actually do. There's just something about height, and you need to be aware of that. Maybe you don't want to stand up in the meeting. Everyone comes in sitting down. Uh-oh, here's one. Facial hair decreases trust. Now, I've seen a couple different studies on this. Facial hair instantly does decrease trust, but a well-groomed beard long-term actually helps with maintaining trust. And so, obviously, if your beard's out of control, all over the place, it's going to hurt you. But there's something to think about with the beard and instant trust. Slouching posture disconnects people from you. Wow, that's a big one. Cell phones, because of depression, slouching, walking into a room, as being confident. Your posture's big when you're walking into a room or walking down the street, whatever you do, and watch your posture. Now, that is one you can absolutely fix. Uh-oh. Larger than normal ears decreases perception of intelligence. I don't know. I don't know if they're larger or average. I haven't really measured my ears, but that's an interesting one. There's something about ears and the perception of intelligence. That might not be something that you can fix. Maybe wear a wig. And that's the thing. These are all short-term things. You can fix these with credibility or referrals or testimonials or just working together. It's just that instant thing to be aware of when you're meeting someone for the first time. White teeth are rated more attractive. Maybe I need to whiten my teeth a little bit. I got to be careful though, because I do train all over the world, and some cultures like yellow teeth more than white teeth. It's more of an American thing, United States thing. I don't know, there might be other countries too that do it, but sometimes we get mocked in the United States because our teeth are too white, we're too vain, and so that will depend on the country that you're at, but that's something interesting within the United States. And finally, adult faces with baby-type characteristics are judged to be more honest. I don't know if these are baby faces, how they determine that, but I thought that was an interesting one to add, to where facial characteristic symmetry can help or hurt, that connection to really understand how this works. Just being aware. Some of these you can fix, some things you can't, but be aware that initial impression, the cement dries fast, and you don't have time to spend hours to rebuild that first impression. You can get testimonials, referrals, the history, the credibility, the endorsements, whatever you need to do, but then again, this is short term. So I want to add to that to the podcast. Hey, hit subscribe, hit the like button. You can hit the link below to subscribe to the podcast at maximizeyourinfluence.com. Understand, most of persuasion is emotional, that subconscious trigger. And when you understand that, you can definitely persuade with power.